Hey Jean, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm good, good. I can see smile on your face.
Oh,
Congratulations on
yeah.
passing PMP exam. How are you feeling, Jean?
I mean, yesterday when I got the results, I was very excited. But to say like the truth, after the exam, I wasn't that sure.
All right.
Yeah, but
Once
yeah, I was confident that maybe I made it. But I was like, yeah, I'm 50-50.
did you take the exam online at home or at the
Yeah,
exam
at home,
center?
online.
At
Mm.
home. So you didn't receive your result right after the exam. Thank you so much, Jean, for taking the time out for this session. This would be really helpful for people who would be watching. So let's start with your brief professional background, your introduction.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, currently I'm working as a program coordinator in a nonprofit that works in environmental sustainability. But previously, not to today, but today I'm just like I'm 2 years in. But previously, like 5 years ago, I had a project manager position with an agricultural company, and I was like a project manager for 2 years. So with that 4 years, I was able just to apply for the project management PMI requirement when you have to do the PMP exam. So in my role nowadays, I happen to apply like the hybrid uh, approach, and most of the time it's like the um, predicted. But yeah, there are some projects that are hybrid.
All right. Thank you, Jean. So, when did you start your preparation and how much total time you spent in the entire preparation process?
That question is a good question, but it is hard just like to do the right count. But I'd say that after the training, the class that we had with you, um, I was reluctant even just to like to schedule the exam until May. Then I realized if I don't schedule the exam, I won't get like that push to prepare myself. And I scheduled the exam like a month, 30 days in, which I scheduled the exam on May 9th. So the exam that the day I scheduled, and then I put it in a month away, so which was last Sunday. And that's when I was let me start just preparing myself. But truth to the saying, I did not like after scheduling, I kept postponing my just like I would say like I'm putting in 8 hours of study. I couldn't until maybe 2 weeks before the exam. In those 2 weeks, I did manage just to like my plan was to do 4 hours every day in the evening after my work, but I wasn't successful to just do those 4 hours every day. But I'll say that the total will be 30 hours. 30 hours. Took Friday off. I put in like 12 hours. And then on Saturday, I put in 12 hours. That's 24. And plus the residue hours that I was like putting in, because I had there's this podcast I had like I listened every time that I was driving. I put in there's this project management podcast. I don't even remember the provider, but I may look it up. But I would put it in and go as I drive, I listen. And then when I get home, I review your videos on YouTube. And but after all, I'll mention this. Your notes were the key to the exam. I remember when I was asking your notes, like to give me the notes before, but I was lucky that I took some. But even though they missed some details, but I still had those notes, and like 50% of the exam had me taking like remember of what I read from the notes, like, and having the mindset, understanding the mindset was key to the exam, because I would get scenarios that I'll have like 5 answers that seem alike, and I was like, which one do I choose? But if I could remember for like the mindset, like being as a program manager, you need to be collaborative. And I would choose like the answer that has to do with collaboration. The team has to go to collaborate, or just giving autonomy to the team, to the project team. I'd go for that. And yeah, that's how I made it.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for detailed explanation. So if I summarize, you dedicatedly spent 30 hours in preparation, right? And also you gone through my
Yes, I would
notes
say
and
30 hours.
all right. And
Hmm.
okay, let's talk about your exam preparation strategy. Like, what was the first thing that you did? Like, did you read any book, or how did you use my notes or any other resources that you used?
So for the book, I tried to read I'd say that I read half of it during the time that we were just studying your class. And afterwards, I would say that I didn't read much of the book. But I remember I attended some few Zooms and during the question and answers, not that much, but I would go back and review the videos. And then, like on those 2 days, like the Friday and Saturday, that's when I had like an hour or 2 hours to review the notes and really understand what we meant, what we went through, like what you went through during the class. And yeah, I think and having those, like I would go to YouTube, not only your question and answers and like the videos, but also I would find other videos that had to explain about much about the PM book version 7. And what I could get as a summary from the book is like just understanding that mindset, like having the knowing the agile mindset, like those values, and all in all, just like the PM mindset.
All
Mm.
right, thank you.
And I would
Jean,
mention also
Mhm.
that there are some scenarios if I would go with what I normally do at work, I would have just messed up
Yeah.
because we have a kind of different process and procedures at work, which maybe doesn't work other in the other places elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. PMIism is slightly different because when you standardize things, there are
Mhm.
things which are different. So yes, different organizations do different things differently. All right. Jean, how important were our daily Q&A sessions? So you said you couldn't attend all the sessions live, but you went back and you reviewed the recordings. How important
Yes.
and relevant were those questions if you compare them with the real exam?
With the real exam, I think they provide that understanding because you won't get literally the same questions. Even I forgot to mention that I had the PMI study hall access as well, and then I did the simulation 175 questions and the other 25 prep questions. But of course, all those questions, for me, I didn't get the exact similar questions, but understanding the scenario, like having the context and what to do when you find yourself in any situation or just any context, and then what you would be choosing as a way forward or just the right course of action.
Absolutely, that's really important. Like if somebody attends those Q&As, live or if they watch them recordings on YouTube, the understanding of the mindset is really important. That we call PMIism, like how PMI standardizes things and how they want us to approach a question. So each question is a new concept. So when you go through 200, 500 questions, you learn 500 concepts. So if you have learned 500 concepts, then exam would be much, much easier. All right,
Yeah,
great.
you get a broad understanding of what to do, or like what you will be doing when you find yourself like in any context. And like, however, the question is tough, but of course, when it comes to people, the people domain, the mindset was like that's the key, and even the
Absolutely.
process as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. As you were mentioning, like always be collaborative,
Mhm.
give autonomy and freedom. So this mindset is really, really important to answer
Yeah.
people domain. So that is actually my next question. Which topics were dominant in the exam or where students should focus while preparing for the exam?
For my exam, the process domain, I would say that was 50%. And then people domain was like maybe 70%, no, close to 80%. And then
Mm.
20% would be business environment.
Oh, so 20% business, roughly 15 to 20% process, and remaining was people.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's the trend that I have been, getting in the
Oh,
feedback sessions.
uh,
Like,
excuse me. Just was like 50% process, 20% or 15 something like that business, and the remaining is people.
okay, so you're saying people is less, process is more.
Process is more, and people is the second. Then business
Oh,
has a few like few questions.
interesting, interesting.
Mhm.
Uh, Based on my previous sessions with PMP aspirants, they say people domain, the portion of people domain was higher as compared to process. So it's interesting
Yeah.
to know that in your exam, processes domain was higher
Yeah.
in terms of content. Interesting to know. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. So it means students should focus equally on all of these domains. So PMI suggests
Yes. Yeah.
50% process
Mhm.
domain, 42% people, and 8% business. So roughly more or less similar in your exam. All right,
Mhm.
great. So were you able to manage time during the exam?
Yes. It was tough. When my test ended. I remember I took the first round of questions, which is 60 questions. Um, took me a lot of time. Just like I would read and go back and read the same question again, and that's how I just I was. That's how I was missing out on time. Just it would take much time, and then from that, I took a break of like 5 minutes, but I knew that just rereading the question like 3 times it won't help. I will go with what comes like my gut, or the first instinct, and then but still keeping up with the mindset. That's how I managed to do the second and the third parts of the exam. And remember, I finished all questions, 20 minutes left. Yeah, I went back and review like the last part, but the first two parts I didn't have a chance to review them.
All right, great. Interesting that you finished your exam earlier. Good.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
How much did you practice? How many questions did you solve before the exam?
Before the exam. So I would say that there is the 175 questions from the study hall, 25 pre-questions from the study hall, and there's you remember the questions that we got from like we would practice on during the class? I
Yeah,
would say
absolutely.
that yeah, I reviewed each part I reviewed like 10, 10, 10, then would be like 60? No, kind of 60.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would go back and review the videos. I don't know how much of the videos was reviewed, but those like literally what I had like in front of me as on paper instead not on videos, because the video would just like go through what the whole video went through, what was about, and yeah, get the whole understanding of the context.
All right, great. So roughly, if I could gauge the question that we had during the course and the other question, roughly you solved around 500 question if I could sum all of them
Yes, I'd
together.
say so. Yeah,
Could you
I'd say
recall what
so.
was your percentage in those mock exams, average score?
My percentage, maybe 60%.
60%, right. And did you make the decision based on your percentage, like you're ready to write the exam, or on which basis you made the decision, okay, yes, now I should write the exam?
Actually, what made me confident was the videos. It was the videos.
Okay.
And yeah, it was the videos. But from the questions, uh, it is interesting. From the study hall questions, I didn't even just make it to 50%. But I would do the questions and then go back and review every situation. Um, and during the previous questions that we had in class, those ones I think for them, because we had like questions and answers. I wouldn't say that was very honest to just keep myself not reviewing the answers before. But yeah, I would read the question and try to choose the answer. But of course, I had one page of questions and the other page of answers. So I wouldn't say that I tested myself like on those questions without really reviewing the answers. But on all, I'll say that 60% and
60%.
60%. And the videos were the ones that made me just confident because I'll understand like what is the context. I realized that if I base my answers on like the logic, then I would maybe miss out on the on the mindset, and maybe I would lose on some questions. Yeah, but I would just if I'm giving an advice to somebody else who's going to sit for the exam, just review those questions and answers, and really the notes well save me. The notes saved me, I would say.
All right, interesting. So yes, one of the learnings from Gene's experience is that it's not, necessary to read the book to pass this exam. So he didn't read a book. He just, he solved mock exams, reviewed the class notes, and these two are the resources that he used. And if you're getting 60
Mm.
or 70% of the marks in my video sessions, like daily Q&A sessions, you're good to go. You can plan your exam, because getting 60 to 70 in those mock exams is really, really challenging, because those
Sure.
are really tough questions.
Yeah. Mhm.
All right. So, Jean, was there any challenging area in the exam, or the questions which were difficult, or any advice about anything that students should look for during the exam?
Sure. Just like speaking from my experience, I mean, if a person is about to prepare themselves just for sitting for that exam, I would advise just if you able to read the book, just read it once. Read it once. Don't get lost into that book. And then if you find some context tough to like just understand from the book, there are so many videos on YouTube. I would refer them just to your channel, um, and other channels as well. And like the tough from my experience, I struggled a lot with the business environment, And if I had chance to take it again, I would maybe try to review the book and also solve most questions on the business environment. But I was lucky that it didn't have a lot of percentage in my exam. It was like 10 or 15% of the exam. So I had a quite good understanding of the people domain and the process that where I scored like above target and the target. So it made it just for the success.
All right. Thank you so much, Shane. You have gone through the entire process. You have passed the exam. Uh, how important this entire journey was for you in terms of learning and, uh, personal and professional development?
Mm, I'll start with learning. I discovered that it made me just I when I reflect on the whole process, I discovered that sometimes um, me or any other person we have challenges with like finding time and when you're not like I would say from my experience, just sitting and reading the whole book, it was tough. But as I read it once when I was during that the class that we took, I thought maybe that was enough. Then just let's not put much time in reading the book, but of course try to understand what the books is all about. And then when you have like much resources that you can refer to, like those YouTube videos, I think that was much of help. Professional wise, on the professional side, I mean, it gave me like other insight or just other perspective to apply those mindset and values in my work. Because I deal with so many stakeholders who has different views on what to do. And some of them just like as we studied have like influence on projects. And if you do not like, let's say there's this question I encountered that it mentioned that this project sponsor was the financial manager of the company, and he was not interested in that project. So what would the project manager do to engage that stakeholder? And I found out that the right question was to try like emotional intelligence to get the stakeholder involved, like just motivate the stakeholder, and also just to provide like full understanding of the benefits of the project, which is things that I encounter during when I go back to work. There are some stakeholders who are against the project. Not only that, they do understand what is the meaning or just what is the benefits of the project, and they have other priorities. So there are you would choose to let them decide, but of course if you have other ways of engaging them, why not? And you would be successful to just save that project instead of those fundings. Yep.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Jean, for detailed explanation. This would be really helpful for everybody who would be watching. Once again, congratulations, and thank you for managing time
Thank you
for
so
this
much.
lesson learned session. Am I audible, Jean?
Sure. Yes. Yes, I can hear.
All right, all right.
And thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. It was uh, yeah, I was saying thank you so much for your contribution. It was so helpful regarding this exam.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm happy that you have passed, and whatever we are doing, that was helpful to you. Jean, best of luck in your future endeavor. I wish you good luck in your personal life and professional life. We will be in touch. Take good care of yourself. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you so much. You have a
Take
good day.
take care. Bye.
Bye.